Hello everybody, long time no see. Today will be an unexpected episode. I don't have any plannings, I don't have any script. That's just something popped up in my mind and I would like to share with you today. So, let's begin. Okay, where are we? I just have some talk with many people that I know, and a lot of them share the story about they are thinking about changing. Oh, I would not say changing, right? I would say relocating their job from a normal environment into the online environment. Somehow we can say that they want to become something we call digital nomads. This means people who are free in the working condition due to the application of information technology. And with the COVID-19 situation going on, there's no way we can be sure when this craziness will finish. So there are lots of teachers that I know, they're also thinking about becoming at least partially online teacher. So during our conversation, there's something always emerge. There's something that has become the topic for most of our discussion, and that topic usually circulates around one topic only. It is about how that we can ensure the audio quality during the teaching session. The video quality is less of a concern. Of course, your teacher can look a little bit blurry or laggy, but if you cannot hear the content of the lecture or the meanings the teacher wants to convey to you, that could be problematic. And that is actually the most severe barricade that has been hindering a lot of teachers that they want to move online, and a lot of would-be digital nomad in their mindset of changing. Okay, now I don't say, and I will never say, I am an expert in such fields like this. I just try a lot of things. Some fail, some are pretty good. So let's say I have more experience, and today I would like to share with you about a recommendation for improving your audio quality. Okay, now when we talk about working online, teaching online to be sure, alright, what do we think about? For me, it would be online conferences or video calls. We are talking about Zoom call, we are talking about Google Meet calls, and of course we also talk about Microsoft Teams, which is a terrible product. I will never suggest anybody to use that. But okay, so during this phone call, let's imagine you are going to do about 8 hours of calling using Zoom in one day, and that will happen every single day, and everything you speak in this meeting are important. Are you going to use the tiny hole as microphone in your laptop, or this is a pair of earphones that people usually use, that I usually use when I want to listen to some music. This is high resolution, they have high quality driver inside the earbud. But look at the tiny hole of the microphone. Well, it doesn't do anything good regarding the audio quality of my voice. Alright, now again, when we talk about doing online working conference call, we're talking about using a computer to do that. It will be either a Windows or a Mac, and I assume not many of us are going to rely on smartphone, Android or iPhone or tablet to do this thing. But well, just in case, I did actually think about that. Well, I have an iPad, I have 2 phones, one Android, one iPhone. So I did try to think about one solution that could fit all of my devices. So far, yes, I found one. Okay. The main things, the computer, for sure, you all have one, and anything will do just fine. Of course, some laptop brands, they would process the audio much better than, no, not much better, like a little bit better compared to the other brands, as they have better audio chips inside. But the difference would be marginal, like too small for us to pick up. So I think it's safe to say that we don't really need to pay attention to our laptop or our computer in terms of audio quality. Now, what do we will have to pay attention to? The headphone. Any decent pair of headphones or earphones or even wireless thing would do also just fine. I'm using a cheap earbud, okay, high res, but still cheap. Or sometimes I use my two wireless pair, right, work like charms, no big deal. Now the only problem we need to deal with is our audio, microphone. The things that make your voice to be able to be heard by the other people. And also, now, when working online, when doing conference call, we want what we say to be heard, and we don't want what we don't want people to hear, like enter the microphone. Vice versa, we also want what they say could be understood by ourselves. So we're going to need something that can conduct two-way communication. They can be linked with any devices, either it's a smartphone or a tablet or a computer. And third of all, we want something that can reject unwanted noise to cannot say it's a perfect degree, like no way it can filter all the noise like 100%. I would say reject the noise to a decent level that it could not cause annoyance in your session. Okay, after I have about 5 microphones, 5 of them, yeah. And they belong to a lot of different categories. They are condenser microphone, dynamic microphone, shotgun microphone. In fact, I'm shooting this video using a shotgun microphone, booming a little bit over my head, about 7 centimeters away from my mouth. Let's see how the audio check out, right? Now I have on-camera shotgun mic, I have headset, lots of stuff. And just to be sure, I paid premium and hard-earned cash for them. Jesus. Alright. Now, after I have been trying so many options, I came to one conclusion, that this item I'm going to talk about today should be the things to go, like the green light for everybody who thinks about being a full-time Zoom caller. Like me, I'm a full-time Zoom caller for now. Okay. It is not necessary this brand or this particular model, anything that would satisfy the categories, the criteria that I'm going to mention will serve you perfectly. The first thing is that you need a dynamic microphone. Now this is something we call a dynamic microphone. So what's different between the dynamic microphone and the other kinds of microphone? This is a condenser microphone. This is a raw NT USB, pretty heavy. Premium quality, I would say no complaint about that. But it has a habit of recording every noise that you could hear. Now, one thing to pay attention to is we are doing the live streaming, not recording. When we actually do the recording, there is a luxury of something we call processing, or you actually can modify the audio in the recording session. But if you like something live streaming through the internet, go directly to your client or your student's computer. No, this thing, the condenser microphone, is an ultimate weapon in recording. But for live streaming, it doesn't do much. My kid yells in the living room, and inside in my office we could hear that like we are outside. So okay, a dynamic microphone on the other hand, it has a better sound rejection. What does it mean? For example, when I speak to a condenser microphone, I would put a microphone like this, and it will just like get on the sound in about 90 degree or like 100 degrees radius around this pop filter. Also on the back, sometime, yeah. And that, okay, it limit the way you can put this microphone. It always this letter should always points to your mouth or something next to that. It look professional, yeah, cool, very professional. But trust me, really annoying. The condenser, the dynamic microphone like this thing, on the other hand, you need to hold like this, or just like you are singing karaoke, or this is a pretty much traditional microphone. Everybody know how to use that. As long as this tip point at your mouth in either direction, it will do very clear of getting your sound, but reject all the sound coming on the back or the side of that. So basically it only record your voice. Same thing with this. It's a dynamic microphone. It's a shotgun microphone, but yeah, nobody use this thing for live streaming and calling, right? Because of the second thing I would like to say, the connection. Now this thing have all the connection that you can possibly need and will need. First thing first, it has a USB port right here. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, here's a USB port. It uses a USB Type C, and then we have something called a XLR or the Canon cable, like the 3-pin, and then we have the headphone output right here. Okay, what do they do? For this, the USB Type C, you can connect that to any technological gadgets that you can have, a Mac, a Windows, even a smartphone, as long as this thing can supply 5 volt. Okay, I'm not talking about a USB cable adapter, because pretty much this thing everybody have. So okay, leave it aside. Technically, you can plug that into any phone, any tablet, or any computer, and that will become a microphone. Like the computer will understand that as a microphone. Simple, right? The second thing is the 3-pin connectors. This thing, now if you want something even more professional, you can buy an audio interface or a mixer and plug that in a traditional way into the mixer, and from the mixer into your computer. Well, I guess maybe sometime we need to sing karaoke, right? And okay, and the headphone things. You plug a headphone in this, it will become a sound card. Technically, every sound of your computer will get out of this headphone output. So when you speak into the microphone, the other people will hear you. When they answer to you, this headphone output will deliver this sound to your ear. So one cable you plug in your computer, you can do 2-way communication. This thing also doesn't require any external power or any battery at all. It runs on your phone or your computer USB power. Super convenient. And yeah, and it's very small and light. You can get a desk stand, a boom arm, or anything to hold your microphone. Now people sometimes say, but man, it doesn't look professional. This is a form. Like you put it here, poof, it will look. Now let me show that. Okay, I'm lazy to plug in, it's so tight. So this thing now will look very professional, and that also help remove all the background noise like the fan, the air conditioning, the refrigerator running on the background. So this thing, perfect, and that's cheap, like 200,000 something. Now again, back to this thing. This has been my main workhorse. Like it's helping to earn money for the last 8 months. I mean, I use a lot of microphone for vlogging, for video call, for playing games. But this thing, every time I sit down, open Zoom, begin to teach class, this thing will be have been and will be the things that you hear from me. Work like magic, never have any technical issue. Alright, this is Audio Technica. I think the model is ATR 2100X USB. But there's also Samsung Q2U, and I think USB Row NT USB Mini. Yeah, they all have USB Type-C. Go for the Type-C, don't go to anything else. Now, other people may say, but teacher, but man, this is big. It's inconvenient to use. Now, the last tip I will tell you today is there's 2 rules that apply into the sound recording world. Rule number 1, size matter. What does it mean, size matter? Okay, every microphone they will have something they call the capsule, and this is how big the capsule is. And this is how big the capsule on the earbud, right? Okay, if I put these 2 things next to each other, size matter. The bigger the microphone is, the easier it can, like the better sound it will get. And the second thing, if something is good, it stays good. I mean, how can I say that? Okay, my condenser microphone. This thing has been around since 2005. I would say 16 years ago. Yeah, the design haven't changed in the 16 years. And this is a class-leading product. I mean, if you want to get a USB condenser mic, this is the best symbol. No argument. And that's been around for 16 years. So you say, if something remained good for 16 years, and not even that, something like the Shure SM58, it has been used like trend, no, I'm sorry, not 20 years, since 1950s of the last century. So 70 years, still kicking. Now this design is also based on the Shure SM58. So this thing have proved itself for I mean nearly a century. Trust me when I say that. If it's good, it stays good. Alright, so invested. This thing cost me about, I think, 3 million sometime, but you can get that for sale pretty easily these days. Shopee, Tiki, Lazada. Alright, I guess that explains a lot of things people are having maybe in their mind about how to, improve their productivity by home working, or maybe becoming a digital nomad, or an online teacher, whatever, or a vlogger like what I'm doing right now. Okay, so I think that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.